Returning now to our top story and the situation in Syria. In the last hour, we heard from the Syrian Foreign Ministry spokesman Jihad Makdisi, who denied UN reports that mass killings took place in the village of Tremseh in Homs province on Thursday. As you know, Syrian activists say more than 100 people were killed in Tremseh on Thursday, but the Syrian Foreign Ministry says only 2 civilians died and 37 armed terrorists were killed. Let's speak more about this now to Leal Olivas, who's a Spanish freelance photojournalist who just spent 3 weeks in Syria, including in that village of Tremseh. He's just returned now to Antakya in Turkey, where he joins us live. Thank you very much, Daniel, for speaking to us. Now, the Syrian Foreign Ministry spokesman Jihad Makdisi said a short while ago that the media reports about what happened in Tremseh were misleading, that the Syrian army didn't use any heavy weaponry in that village. Tell us about what you found, what you saw while you were in Tremseh.
Well, as we got there, we found obvious proof of heavy weapons. All the tank trucks were in the ground, very fresh. Everyone was in the town very nervous, tried to show us what happened in the town. It was heavy marks of shelling, not only tanks, mortars. So what we saw there, easy to identify, were heavy weapons used in that town against the civil population.
Precisely what types of weapons did you see?
Not only that, I want to... Well, tanks, because we saw all the trucks and everyone was holding the shelling for the shells of the tanks, and you can see in the walls in the ministry of the town, very easy to identify there were tanks there, and everyone there was selling. Tanks came here, not only tanks, many soldiers came here. And obviously, very obviously to see, is nothing to deny that.
But the Syrian Foreign Ministry says that it was in the opposition who were using the heavy weaponry that you just described there. What did you see as far as the opposition's weapons, if you did see anything at all, or their tactics against the Syrian government troops?
Well, during that moment I spent in Syria, the rebels, they have some tanks, but as far as I know, they don't have the ability to use them, and not for sure to the level that we saw in Tremseh. Pretty much the level they are in a lack of weapons, and we tried to ask them, and everyone was saying what we expect. The army came there went there with tanks and soldiers, and they use all the power they have to attack the town. Also, we saw a lot of shell from mortars, and they burned a lot of houses. Like more than we saw in the time where we were there, more than 30 houses burned, a lot of cars, motorcycles. Like, so I can say that from my own experience inside Syria, not any rebels will have the amount of weapons we saw in Tremseh.
Okay. Daniel, tell us about the people that you saw and you spoke to in Tremseh, the civilians there. How scared were they by what was happening? Were they able at all to flee the violence?
Well, this is something that really impacted us. As soon as we get there to the town, everyone was in a high level of tension. Everyone came to us. We arrived there at the same time, the UN observers, 2 convoys of them. So everyone thought that we were UN observers as well. So around 35, 40 people around us trying to shout out loud to us, saying, look, they burned our house, look what they did, look this, look, all the tanks came here. So very easy to identify that those people was really freaked out, and they told us, one of the residents told me, Daniel, when you're gonna go, they're gonna come back, they're gonna kill us. So that really impacted me. These people was really afraid of, again, see the army came to the town and do what they told us that they do. I want to mention something. We went to in the back of the house, and we saw a proof of executions. We went to a toilet room, a bathroom, a toilet room, and we found a lot of blood. We found finger, like mark of the hands full of blood, and we saw a mattress with holes of gunshots, and everyone there was telling, not only to me, to the UN observer, we found bodies here, they were executed, there weren't any kind of rebels, they were just civilians for this town.
Okay. Daniel, one last question if I can. I understand that this is your second time now inside Syria in the last few months. How has the situation changed in the time that you've been there now? I mean, do you sense that the violence is more intense, that the bloodshed is more intense than it was a couple of months ago?
Yeah, I will definitely say that. There are more, as far as I know, during my time, the army is getting how to say, they are really going against and pick up towns like Tremseh or Tremseh or Dartase. I was there when the first day they shelled Dartase, and from the first trip there in Syria, I found that they are getting harder against the rebels, against any town, against the Syrian government. And not only that, one of the things that really I found is the lack of gas, the lack of electricity, the lack of water. The government cuts electricity for 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. Water as well. Many people say, Daniel, it's getting harder and harder. Every day is getting harder and harder. No mention the gas. People, they don't have gas. They have to wait long lines to get refill the gas bottles, and that really make an impact in the. Not talking about the rebels, not at all. Talking about the civilians, talking about the people, talking about the families, talking about the children. It's getting really hard.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. That's Spanish journalist Leal Olivas, who's just returned from Syria, joining us there live from Antakya in Turkey.